right, everybody, and welcome back to another DNVR Rapids postgame show presented by the homies at Abubakar TV. How'd you watch the game this weekend? Were you watching the game on some sketchy stream.xyz. Whatever streams, whatever weird name you have for your streaming website? Were you doing that? Do you have a weird Discord channel saying all the weird stuff next to it, interrupting your game, pop-ups and singles in your area, perhaps? You don't have to deal with that anymore because you can get a Vodka TV. Vodka TV is a whole new way of television delivery, and the most important thing about Vodka is that it has altitude TV, so you can catch final Rapid season that is broadcast on altitude TV with the altitude crew, and they're doing a great job, and you can catch it on Vodka. Vodka has all your sports, and it also includes AT&T Sportsnet, so you can catch the boys on Blake Street, the little summer boy action, baseball. It's really easy. It's simple. You just go to avacatv.com/DNVR. Use promo code DNVR at checkout. You get $10 off your first 3 months. Makes it $15 a month for 3 months. That's the rest of the Rapid season, basically. For dirt cheap, you can get a DVR. You can do the whole thing. There's no contracts, no hidden fees. Sign up with the homies at Avaka TV. Okay, we're into it. How's it going, everybody? Welcome in. It's me, Mitchell Carroll, a.k.a. Merchel, your host. I'm joined, of course, by my super producer, sweet baby angel, married man, Yahir G. Vazquez. How you doing, buddy?
Dude, I'm chilling. It's another day. Another day, another grind. It sucked. It is.
Oh, man. Let's jump right into it. Rapids lose home in the most Rapids way possible. They jump to a 2-0 lead, immediately give just the easiest goal in the world back. And then in the second half, give up 2 goals. They give up one right at the end of stoppage time, too. So they go into half 2-2, give up one early in the second half, lose 3-2, can't get one back. Lewis had a beautiful goal in a really good first half. Beautiful chip shot on a break. Nice pass from Rubio. Lalas Abubakar gets his second of the season on a Acosta free kick, and just a sweet, got his foot out there. It was luck, but it was luck that went well for Lalas, and he buried one from the other side of the net, and just tapped one in on a free kick diving. That's actually how he kind of scored his other goal, except he was in front of goal for the last one. But yeah, sliding in the box on a free kick. And then outside of that, man, there's not a ton to get into besides
real
the fact
quick before we get into all the bad. Let's rank the 2 goals. Which goal was better? Let's get into the goal a little bit. That's the positive. It was the fun part of the game.
Which goal was better? The Lewis goal was a beautiful pass from the back line to Rubio. Rubio, instead of taking it off the chest or his foot, lets it bounce once, lets it go over his head, bounce, and then drops one over the top. Lewis is yards in front of his defender. He hesitates before sending it right over the goalkeeper's face. Perfect chip, almost hits the bar, but doesn't, goes in the back. I thought that was perfect. I mean, he had easier options than that. He could have just put it in the near post probably without any sort of hindrance from the keeper. But I mean, that's about as I'm not a professional soccer player, so I don't know, but I imagine that is the moment where you're like, oh fuck, what do I do? Oh shit, chip shot.
Oh.
Yeah, like
and the chip shots are hard, man, because you gotta make sure you're gonna make that, because if you don't, that's just gonna sail over and it's gonna drop right on top of the net, and you're just gonna feel like total shit.
Yeah, which happened to Kansas City before they got their third. They had
Austin,
a chip shot like that.
I have to Austin.
Or yeah, did I say Kansas? Yeah. Whatever. I hate both of them.
It happens.
Yeah, just drop that chip shot on the net.
I agree, man. I think the Lewis goal was a lot better. I think the Lewis, because it was run on the run of play, which is Rapids have not been good in the run of play with scoring goals. Yeah. Which I thought that was the fun part about it. Although I really like Lala's goal too. I thought both goals were great. Yeah, I thought both goals were great.
I think Lalas has worked really hard on set pieces. I think he's really worked on positioning, and he had his head on another one that went off the post.
Oh yeah.
That would have been the equalizer. He's done a really good job of that this year. I think he really took that on himself in the offseason to improve his set piece play. Defensive set piece play has been really good. So You love to see that. I mean, he just kind of threw his foot out there and it worked, right? Like he didn't have it. I mean, I'm sure he'll say he had a ton of control on it. I don't necessarily believe that.
I would.
But yeah, I mean, that's a really hard goal. He probably had the harder goal. I just think the Lewis run of play, chipped the goalie. It was just perfect.
Yeah, I think that's the run of play thing is the thing that makes the Lewis goal. And it was Lewis too. I think Lewis has gotten a lot of crap, including for me. So I thought that was cool to see. I thought it was really fun to see Lewis score.
Yeah, me too. I thought he played really well. Honestly, I really do.
I thought he played really well for like the first half, and then after that, he instantly frustrated me again because he did what he does always: runs, be his man, did what you had to do. Then the crossing was position, horrible.
Yeah,
the crossing, like in the first half, like the big first chance they had, sailed it over Zarda's head. That would have been a goal. He was ahead of the Auston defender, and it went over Zarda's head.
I think Zarda's kind of got screwed on probably 4 crosses that were just off, like just off. And again, get in better position for it or whatever, you know. I mean, like, here's the thing: no one in Rapids fandom is going to be like, oh, okay, he probably could have got better crosses on all of those. They just want to see goals. And if you're not
that's why we're here for that, though. That's why we're here to tell them that the crosses were complete shit. Like, they hit defenders, and I'm not just talking about Lewis. I'm talking about both sides. Rubio had some really bad ones, too. When Barrios came in, he had some really bad ones, too. It wasn't just Lewis. Like, nobody on this team seems to know how to cross the ball.
It's annoying. Except for Lucas, who is completely covered up in his play by Lewis.
Jonathan,
so it's like, it's like, all right, well, it doesn't work there. You know, I am glad that I thought Luke had a good game. Good to see him after extending the loan through the end of the season, come back and immediately I thought he was effective. Mm-hmm. I think the story of the game, I mean, Yarby was back, right? So like, okay, cool, we're good. And then the back line was calling them leaky would be an understatement.
They were a faucet, man. Their mental errors were bad.
And again, it was Lewis, man, or not Lewis. It was it was Danny Wilson. It was Danny Wilson
and Trusty. Yeah, like it was. I think those two were like the biggest offenders the whole time.
Because I think Lalas had a pretty good game. I mean, I think there was a couple moments that you'd want back from him, but between his offensive play and I think he was solid enough on the back line. I thought Keegan was solid. I thought Lucas had a good game. But if you have two center backs.
I thought Lucas defensively was scary. Every time he got the ball, he cleared it a couple of times right into an Auston player. But besides that, his clearances were really scary. But I thought defensively, he was really well positioned.
It doesn't matter how well your midfield plays and your attack plays and your outside backs play. If your center backs are gonna just let balls go, they're just gonna be like, actually, I'm not gonna clear that. He ducked away. Danny Wilson ducked away from a clearance. And then Trusty let it go past him for a chip goal. Man. There was like at least 2 chip goals in this game. And there was almost a third. That's weird. That doesn't happen a lot. It was very MLS-y.
That was so bad, man. That was so bad. Just that goal right there just kind of set the tone for the defense for the rest of the game.
It was so bad, man.
The Rapids were fighting for their independence from the bottom of the league. And they
were up 2-0.
They were winning this game, and they just
dominating.
Oh man, they were pressuring the first 20, 25 minutes was all Rapids. There was no real.
I mean, I would say even though it went in 2-2 at the half, I would say it was all Rapids because those 2 goals came so quick off of mistakes that it wasn't. It was not a result of Rapids playing poorly or Auston playing so well. It was just a straight up mental lapse by Wilson and then by Trusty in a row to let that ball just go to was it Finley? No, who scored?
I think it was Finley. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Finley.
Oh my God. And he just let it get foot. You hit Yarborough out to dry, man. And this center back situation has to be figured out in the next couple weeks. Do you want to make the playoffs? You need to improve that back line.
I think they're done for. I'm really positive. I think this game just showed me they're done for. There's nothing they have left.
I don't think the playoffs are an option. I think if you get offers for your vets,
anybody not named Rubio, you get rid of. I think because I think Rubio will be a good piece. I think honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think you try and keep Mac You try and keep Rubio.
Price
if you can, right? I don't want to ever see Keegan go, but if Keegan, if there's options for Keegan,
especially with Markinich and Lucas on the wings waiting, like they'll be okay in the backs. But that defense is bad.
The defense is terrible. And if the defense is so bad, why are we watching Wilson and Trusty do this every week? I want to see Vazquez. Like Drew Moore, you're paying this veteran, this guy who's been in Colorado forever. You're paying
Sebastian Anderson.
Yeah, honestly. Put Seabass back there, dude. Maybe Seabass can kick some ass, but the center back situation right now, you guys and I've been banging this for a long time, so this isn't some pivot for me.
Mm-hmm.
You can blame those wingers, right? Like they aren't scoring, that's fine, but they also went up 2-0 at home in a huge game against a top of the table team, and the defense completely gave it away. That was enough to win that game. Should have been enough to win that game.
Yeah, they should have 3 points right now, and it's completely and all falls on the defense. All of it falls on the defense because they were great. The offense did exactly what they were keeping. The midfield was keeping possession. The forwards were scoring. Like, what else do you want from this team? The defense let them down completely, and it was so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Yarby was fine. I don't think any of those goals he could have done a better job on, right?
He could have done nothing on any of them, I think, honestly. They were just really bad lapses. Like, the balls in front of the Drusy, Finley, Utiri. Like,
so sick, dude.
Yeah, like, what do you do? Like, what do you do? The ball's already in front of... Like, it sucks. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
As a goalkeeper, what can you do, like, to change the outcome? Maybe communicate better, but, like, they're, 20 feet away from him?
Yeah.
How do you, like, you're not going to be able to hear them, really.
I was watching from home, so I was listening, and Marcelo was pulling what hair he has left out at that center back positioning, and he's been doing that since that equalizer goal against New York, where these guys like this. I don't know. I mean, there's no coaching involved with this. Like Frazier is not telling them to act like this. Frazier is not like, hey, just leave your guys open. Right. So don't pressure the ball inside the box. Like this is mental mistakes. This is something that's going on up here for Wilson specifically. And I think Trusty is clear that his eye is on not getting hurt before he goes to England, which is, I mean, it sucks for Rapids fans that have to watch it, but I get it. I at least get that. Wilson is just, it's big mistake after big mistake all season, dating all the way back to LAFC.
I wonder if Wilson has that like nagging injury. You know, he had the hamstring. If it's like making maybe he's not thinking as much and is scared to get injured very bad.
I would say he's thinking too much, honestly.
Exactly. Maybe he's thinking about his injury, like the hamstring at the same time while trying to play the game, and he's not letting himself just kind of react and do what he knows what to do. Which is the one thing I can think of. Like that's like the only explanation I had for that. And then Lalas had a good game, but even Lalas has been really leaky all year. Like he's made some really big mistakes that have led to goals. Like this backline has just been really bad, and you say it's not a Frazier problem, but at some point there is some responsibility for Frazier. I love Frazier. Frazier's a great coach.
He really is. I'll ride for Frazier. Yeah,
period. I will too. Like that's the thing. I will ride for Frazier too. But at a certain point, the coach needs some responsibility for these mental lapses. There's something there, even if it's not his fault. Like he needs to kind of gets its players and be like, hey, until you fix this, you're not in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean,
that's more that's where Frazier comes in. It's not his fault these mental lapses are happening, but at a certain point, you got to put a stop to it and be like, hey, if you're gonna keep doing this, I'll play the young kids. And you know me, man, I advocate for the kids. I'm one of those people that
you want Yahya and Yappy getting some run, dude. I get it.
No, dude, I want Sebas too. Like, give me Sebas, give me Vazquez, give me the kids. Like, I love a Markinich.
Put Abe between the sticks, baby. Let's let him talk shit and save goals, baby.
That's Abe talking shit is the best part about everything. Like, getting scored on, and he's still talking his shit. Like, he does not care. But I really do think the defense was bad. I don't think Sardis was bad. I think everybody from the midfield up played really well except for the defense.
Yeah, one thing I think Logan encapsulated it in his last big comment there. Look, Sardis has not produced nearly enough. But if your takeaway from this game is that Verdes is the problem with this team, you're not watching this team correctly. You're just not. You're just not. I'm sorry. The attack is not the problem. Whether or not he's been productive, that foursome together, especially there at the end when Barrios missed the easiest goal he'll ever have.
Wando against Belgium. Right. Oh my God. No, dude, this was worse than Wando against Belgium. Wando at least had pressure. He was by himself. And look, the right of that whole net was open.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was shot it right into the goalie. He looked for the goalie's hand. He's like, I wonder how much I would get if I can shoot their hand and see I think he wanted to test his accuracy and be like, I wonder how accurate I really am.
Yeah, if he could go. Yeah, it was. Look, Verdes needs to be better. I think when that's 2-2 at halftime, he needs to come out and at least initiate that hold up play, right? Like get in position. Mm-hmm. But it's if you're looking at anything and like the defense and you're not pointing at center back right now. I don't know. I don't know how else you can have this conversation. They're not making teams earn goals. They're
giving them away.
Yeah. It's just these easy chances. And especially, and I put this in my game thread from the game, but it's like Rapids earn these goals and they're
struggling to earn them, honestly. Yeah. They're struggling.
Like that Mikey
and they
goal,
give them away right away.
That Mikey goal, right? Against New York. Gorgeous run of play. Hard work rate. Got it in. And immediately, without making New York do anything besides exactly what they should, right? No, they didn't. No extraordinary effort. Just get to your spot. They give up the goal. And it happened here. They go up 2-0 really quickly. And immediately, it's 2-1 because they just forget to clear a ball or don't communicate who's clearing. And it's like, you have to make teams earn it. You have to make teams earn it. Oh, Yarby was goalies are always mad, and that's kind of why I like goalies. But after that goal,
after every single goal, he was pissed because they left him out to dry constantly.
I wish I could see what. I wish I had the what do you call them? Subtitles on with his yelling at the back line. Or if he was mic'd up, it's probably gorgeous.
I do want to say this to everybody blaming Verdes. I like how Mitch said, he should be better. He is not producing, but he is not the problem. He is not.
Yes,
him and Rubio are a great pairing.
They really are.
Do everything together right. People keep getting mad at Verdes, and I get it because I'm frustrated too. We should all be frustrated with Verdes.
Yeah.
But he is not the issue. He is not the reason this team is losing. This team is losing because you go all the way back to SKC when they should have had a win against a depleted team who just got murdered 7-0. They should have gone in there and won. Instead, you have Danny Wilson and Lalas Abubakar giving floaters away to Shallowy and just letting them run at Yarby.
Yeah.
Same thing happened today. Yesterday. It feels like
it's all one day.
It feels like a week of doom. It feels like doom at this point. But this shouldn't be happening, especially because these are talented players. They've shown to be talented. They've shown to be elite players in MLS. They've shown to be a top 5 defense constantly, and they're letting everything through. And I still think the 4-back is the way to go.
I think so too, especially if that 4 up top is going to be so effective.
Give me Rubio and Verdes up top pair with the striker, and then Barrios and Lewis as wingers, and then just keep your midfield.
I love that 4 together, and the offense they have is so. Because here's the thing, and especially if Mac is able to cover as much ground as he had, and I thought Mac was pretty good yesterday. I don't know if it was K's best game of the year, but it definitely was a good one. But if you have him trailing and Barrios or Lewis can get outside, which they do consistently, they consistently beat the guy and get the corner. And Lewis did it all game yesterday. But you have 3 options tiered back, right? You can either force force it to Verdes for either a one-timer, header, whatever. Rubio for either a shot or a pass immediately, or kind of just reset the play from the top with Mac, who can either send it out to Barrios to the other side, or shoot or, send it in the middle. Like you just have this. And I just think when those three are together, it's perfect, man. It's like, I want to watch that foursome cook for 3 more games, get through that Galaxy game. And then, man, sell for everything. If you're not, if it's not turning at that point,
I think they should sell anyways. I'm still on this train. Sell, play the kids, let them develop, because clearly this team of veterans is not going to get through. Start developing a little bit. I believe in this team. I'm a big believer in what Frazier and Porrick have built. I'm a big believer in this Rapids way. And this year they just haven't shown it because of mental lapses. I hope that this is just a down year and they bounce back next year. I hope they can turn things around, but it's been just so annoying to see them be so talented, so deep, have so many things working for them, and then just not click and let it, instead of getting beat, they're beating themselves constantly, and it just sucks to see.
Yeah, it's mental, and ever since the Nashville game, where I think the Nashville game is really when this started, when it's just like, when it's these goals where no one knows what the fuck just happened, right? And like Kelly said in his comment, they do just yell at each other because the communication is off. These mistakes happen. These goals come out of nowhere and they kill whatever momentum you have. And it's been since that opening. And then the problem is the Rapids play well after those punches are thrown, but it's too late.
They're good at responding. They're good at reacting.
It's just too late.
Responding. Exactly.
Yeah, it's just too late. It was too late last night, although Barrio should have buried that one and at least got a point out of it. But
I tweeted that out. Even if they got the draw, it was a loss.
Yeah,
it was a huge disappointment
because you're done. You're 12 points out of a playoff spot.
You're done.
You're 7 points out of a playoff spot, but you're in 12th place. You do have some games in hand against a lot of the teams in between you and the playoffs. But that being said, are they going to win at Rio Tinto this weekend? Because that's what's on. That's what's on course now.
You need to win almost every game from now on. Just to Fleming was saying. Fleming was just saying that. Last year, the 7th place got 48 points, I think. It's what I saw on Twitter.
Yeah.
There's 29 points available, I think, or 25 points available. They're at 19 points right now, right?
Yeah.
That's not even enough to
So you basically would have to be close to winning out.
Exactly. If last year played out exactly the way,
they're going to their House of Horrors this weekend.
Yeah, the place that they never win except for that one time during COVID.
Even if, literally. And here's the thing, man, because I think Orlando and LA is 6 points at home. Well, I did before this game at home the last 2 games at home where they got trashed, but you point to that and you're like, great, there's 6 points you can get right in a week. You know what 6 points in a week does for a team in the MLS? I mean, that's like change entire fortunes, but not if they get 0 points this weekend in Rio Tinto and then only have 1 point from 5 matches. That's
the issue. They should have started in New York. You should have had that win. Same thing happened. They let their guard down and
dumb
they
goal.
Scored.
Yep. Gorgeous goal, but just so poorly defended that it's,
Yeah, New York looking at it and oh, wow, we're great. We did this great thing. But then you look at it from a rap and it's like, okay, what was Danny Wilson doing? What was Mark Anthony Kaye doing? Wait, why did he get to that? Why was Magno able to get to the back? Wait, what? You look at all these things and you're like, this progression doesn't make sense.
I wish the Rapids had a Magno and a Drusy. And
I wish... Dude,
those guys are so sick, and they're showing out against the Rapids, and it's annoying. It's annoying
against everybody. That's the issue, man.
Good for Drusy, man, and good for Auston. I mean, I do. I'm not trying to take away from Auston because that's a really good team.
Yeah,
and the fact that they're this good, second year in, they're one of the highest scoring teams in the league. They have a great fan base already. There was a big old group from a big old supporter group out for this game, including the homie Jake. Jake got baked. Colorado Texan on Twitter. You guys know him. I
saw him out there too.
I saw him on TV. He's down for all the Colorado teams except but he's still an Austin Boyd heart, I guess. But look, you can't take it away from them. But the problem is if you go up 2-0 on anyone at home, any team, you should win, or at least draw, and you shouldn't lose.
It's so frustrating, man, because we're talking about all these players, and you have what's his name? Literally just left. Oh, Alejandro Pozuelo, MVP in 2020, 150K in GAM. You can't give that up. The salary's big. I get it. It's a salary, dude. You have DP spots open. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Do it. Just these are you need if you have a real 10 paired with Mac and Price.
Oh my god.
And then you put Rubio and Zardes on top, and your defense just gets at least passable for the last the final half of the season. You're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But
yeah. One name floating around, and it is that veteran name. It's not the youth, but if the team thinks that they can rally, Blessing seems to be available, at least from LAFC. I think this would be a great reclamation project. He's not such a, I think he still relatively fits in with the roster. He's, a little older than that young core the Rapids have, but not by much.
27 or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's, prime. It'd be interesting. It would be really interesting to pair him and Mac together. I think it would be really sweet.
He's 25. He's actually not that.
I mean, if he really wants out of LA, and LA seems to want to go get all the old European guys that want to cash in and play, competition that's 4 times worse than what they're facing every day out in Europe. But
what about over there, Toronto FC, man? Look, becoming Italy.
The Italian national team in Canada. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Logan, this is a good one. I know we haven't had Galvan all season, but how have other injuries affected us? Have we played at full strength more than 3 times this year? I'm talking Mac, Price, Wilson, Zardes. Rubio was injured in this time as well.
Red card too, yellow card accumulation.
Yeah.
Sometimes of that, which is really stupid.
Lalas was playing hurt, but because Wilson and Price were out, he had to play through it. And that was
even Yarby with this injury too.
Yarby with the injury. We have not played fully healthy all season.
I do think it has something to do with it because last year they didn't suffer an injury bug last year. They were good. They were deep and they were able to use their depth. This year they haven't been able to use their depth because everybody's Galvan, injured.
Man, if he's healthy, I think this is a completely different team. I really do.
Oh yeah, dude, take Luis or Barrios out the wings and he creates so much more.
Well, you just force them to either score or get out of the way because Galvan's going to do a really good job. And
he can actually cross the ball too, which is really
nice. And he can cross the ball. I think, man, I just really hope I want to see that 4 together right before you give up on it. But at this point, you're right. I mean, no, but to me, it isn't only because it's like MLS is so up and down that if that 4 is worth it and does show out as a goal scoring unit, can you run it back next year? Right.
But how much are you gonna have to pay for Zardes? He's at the end of his contract. Is he gonna demand big money? Thinking that he's still USMNT Zardes?
I don't think he's gonna be demanding anything after this run of play he's had this season, all of 2 goals. But you're right. It
just sucks. It just sucks to say because I love this team. I love this.
I hope. Okay, well then maybe not running back Zardes, but if the 4 up top works with Diego playing that false 9, do you replace Zardes with a 9, big striker target type in the middle there who can play in front of Rubio and has that we've seen? I think it'd be sick.
I'm just gonna say this.
Yeah.
You wanted Zardes. Zardes, I think, has been a great addition, even though he hasn't produced.
Yeah.
I wanted Brenner, and I got laughed at.
You did.
He's starting to produce. He's starting to become the guy that I thought he would become. And this is pissing me off because I'm like, Brenner was the guy that they should have gotten. Young dude that you still have under contract for, I think, another 2 years if you got in him. Takes up a young DP spot, and you're good to go. You keep that guy up there with you have Galvan. Then you just keep Rubio up there with him, and it's like, okay, there we go. You got production from Renner and Rubio. And now you got Zardes, who is old. You got Rubio, who's getting up there in age. That's the sort of injection of youth I think that this team needed.
Yeah,
and it just sucks tough, to see him do good.
Because who's that, right? There isn't, I mean, Yappy, as much as you and I are both high on Yappy, he isn't even 18 years old, right?
He's 17,
I'm not ready to hand him the keys next season as a starting striker in the MLS. I don't care how good he is, and Rapids too hasn't been lighting the world on fire by scoring goals.
Although they are turning it around, they have
had a couple good games in a row. I'll give them that. But they had possibly the worst opening 8 to 10 games any team could possibly have. They were getting wrapped.
Inaugural season.
Yes, it was terrible. But look, I think we can really dig into these problems and how it sets up the rest of this month, because it really is, it's put up or shut up time in terms of you need, I would say, 7 points from the next 3 to have a shot at the playoffs. Right?
Yeah. If you come out with 9, great, dude.
Yeah, but I think you need 7 from the next 3, and that's in Salt Lake, and then those 2 home games. But on Thursday we'll be back, and we got the Zardes talk is going to keep going, because you know who we have on, baby. We got our
and he was
Wanners.
the guy that was like laughing at me about Brenner. I remember that.
Wanners is staunchly anti-Zardes and strictly pro Rubio, which is not the worst position to be in as a Rapid supporter, because
especially now
it bears fruit. But we will have him in here. We'll set you up. Saltcast time. So we'll talk about the game in Rio Tinto. Maybe there's some transfer news by then. Probably not, but maybe. It seems like everyone in the MLS is making some moves, so hopefully the Rapids get in on that, whether it's a center back, midfield depth, whatever. Be nice to see something there. You got anything to plug there, Yahya?
No, man. Just tune in Thursday, and hopefully we can talk about something a little funner, maybe a transfer, some rumors out there. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
We might come up with some. We'll talk to Juaners and maybe come up with our dream transfers. Who would you like? And actually get that going. So we'll make a list about that.
Yeah. Well, something like that. And hopefully it's fun. I just, man, to have your season on the line, and basically on the line, and you have to go to Utah to save it. Not even to save it, just to stave off the end, is a scary place for Raps to be. All right, guys, go ahead and like and subscribe to DNVR Sports YouTube page. Really helps us out with those likes and those thumbs up and subscription numbers. Go to the DNVR.com, get your membership, get your merch. I'm here in the new merch cave back in the depths of DNVR. We have our whole new operation set up back here, so you'll see me from here probably quite a bit. Nice and quiet with all the shirts muffling sound. It's actually like a nice little podcasting area, so you'll see me from here a lot. And besides that, up the pids.